So now we'll solve a very popular question based on if else. Okay. It has been asked in multiple interviews across many companies. Okay. And yeah, it is actually a bit tricky, and that will help us actually understand where can we go wrong when it comes to this simple concept of if else. Okay. Let me actually paste the question for you from my reference. Okay. And I'll give this heading as interview questions. Interview question FizzBuzz. Okay, the name of the question itself is FizzBuzz. Some of you might be aware. Okay, let's understand the question. So take an integer n as input from the user. Okay, n is multiple of only 3. If n is multiple of only 3, you have to print fizz. If n is multiple of only 5, you have to print buzz. And if n is multiple of both 3 and 5, you have to print FizzBuzz. Okay, so let's see how we'll solve this. Okay, let's see how we'll solve this. So if I go by the approach, of reading it, okay, I will simply write a nested if else code. I'll say, let's say n equals to 10 maybe. If n is multiple of 3, that means if n mod 3 equals to 0, okay, I'll print what? I'll print this. Now else if n is multiple of 5, I will print plus, and else, okay, else I'll print is bus. Okay, simple code. Simple code. Now let's check this code. Okay, n is 10, which is not multiple of 3 but multiple of 5, so I get bus, which is correct, right? Which was expected. Now if I take n as 9, it should print fizz. It is also working fine. But now if I take n as 11, think I tell, is it multiple of 3? No, it's not multiple of 5, and it's not multiple of both 3 and 5. So if I run this, because of writing else, I get output as FizzBuzz. But the correct output should have been nothing, no output, because it is not satisfying any of these three cases. Okay, so wrong. This is wrong. So I understood that, okay, why it's wrong, because I am writing a else condition. So maybe what should I do? Maybe what I should do is I should actually write else if n is multiple of 3 and 5. How do I write it? This and n mod 5 equals to 0. This means it is multiple of 3 and multiple of 5. Okay, let's see what happens now. If I run for 11, no output, so it is absolutely as I expected. Okay. For 9, it is fizz, and for 10, it is buzz. Absolutely correct so far. But now, from my experience, this is what people will ask you. Okay. If they give you 15, tell me what should be the output. Let's go to the question. For 15, it is not just multiple of 3 or 5, it is actually multiple of both. So you should get FizzBuzz, right? Let's check what our code gives. Okay, so we get only fizz. We get only fizz. What does it mean? Because n is 15, n mod 3 became true. And as I told you, we stopped here itself. We never explored ahead. And because of that, even though these conditions were true, we never reached here because of the order. So I've taken this very popular example to tell you that depending on the case, depending on the question, the ordering matters, and we should write code accordingly. Okay. So this is also wrong. I'll write wrong. Okay. Now to give you the right code, I'll copy this and I'll simply change the order. Okay, I'll bring this over here, and I'll make this if n is multiple of both, then actually it is the superset, right? It is the superset of FizzBuzz. And here I'll make LF. If n is multiple of 3, understand here, if it is multiple of 3 and you are checking this condition, that means this condition would have been false. That's why only you are checking this condition. Otherwise, you wouldn't have checked this condition, right? So this is already handling the case that it is multiple of 3 but not multiple of 5. And that is exactly the question. If n is multiple of only 3, that means only 3, not 5. Okay, so that's how you can write better code. And this condition will run when both the above if and else if are false. That means it is not multiple of both, not multiple of 3. So it can be multiple of 5 only. So let's run this. So for 15, it gives us FizzBuzz. Okay. For 10, what should it give? Yes, buzz, because only multiple of 5. And for 9, it should give us this, only multiple of 3, working fine. And finally, a special case 11, which is not true for any and no output. Okay, so this is how you need to think in interviews. So even this small topic is actually very logical if you think about.